All right, let me give it to you straight. About 15% of tattoo shop owners every year deal with a health-related legal liability claim. Not someday, not maybe, every year. And the problem? Most tattoo shop owners think that they're covered until something actually happens. In this video, I'm walking you through 5 real-world scenarios, the kind of claims that I've seen happen or could happen tomorrow. And more importantly, what policy will respond, what it pays for, and where you're completely exposed. Let's get into it. Before we jump into the scenarios, let's set some foundation. These are 3 core coverages that you need to understand as a tattoo shop owner. General liability covers property damage and bodily injury. Professional liability, or errors and omission, covers your actual tattoo work. Work comp coverage covers injury to your employees or artists. If you don't know which one does what, you're guessing. And guessing gets expensive. So let's say a client gets a tattoo. A few days later, they get an infection. Now they're claiming it came from your shop. Maybe improper sterilization, maybe cross-contamination, maybe a bloodborne pathogen exposure. And now they lawyer up. So who covers this? Your general liability policy is going to step in first because this is a bodily injury claim that relates to your business operation. That means medical bills, legal expenses, and a potential settlement. Now, here's the catch. If your documentation is weak, no sterilization logs, no clear consent forms, that claim just got a lot harder to defend. And your insurance company, they're watching closely. Next one, client has a severe reaction to red ink. We're talking ER visit, missed work, follow-up treatments, and now they're coming after you for lost wages. Again, who responds? Well, in this case, general liability, because it's all related to bodily injury. Your GL policy can cover medical expenses, lost wages, legal fees, any settlement or judgment. But here's where tattoo shop owners mess up. If you don't properly disclose risks or don't have signed consent forms, you just gave the attorney leverage. And leverage usually means bigger payouts. Now, let's flip the script a little bit and say the client comes back and says, this tattoo doesn't look like the design I approved. Now they're claiming emotional distress, cost of removal or cover up, damage to their appearance, and they sue. Do you think your general liability policy is going to cover this? Nope. And this is where a lot of shops get burned. This is a professional liability claim. It's also called errors and omission or E&O coverage because now we're talking about the quality of your work and the service that you provided. Not an accident, but a professional mistake or dispute. If you don't have liability coverage, you're paying for that defense out of your own pocket. And those cases get messy fast. Now, here's a simple one, but it happens all the time. A client walks into your shop, maybe somebody just cleaned the floors and your client slips and falls. Who covers it? Your general liability will step in. This is called premises liability coverage. Your GL policy will cover their medical expenses, legal defense, and any potential settlements. This has nothing to do with tattooing. This is just running a business with people walking through the door. Now, let's talk about your artists or employees. Let's say an artist accidentally sticks themselves with a contaminated needle. Now you're talking blood testing, possible exposure treatment, and even time away from work. Who covers that? That's where workers' compensation comes in. And in Texas, here's where it gets a little tricky because work comp isn't required. So a lot of shops end up skipping it. But here's the reality. No workers' comp coverage means you pay out of pocket. Or worse, you get pulled into a lawsuit. This is one of the biggest blind spots I see. Now, let me hit you with something most people don't even think about. Even if a claim is complete nonsense, even if you did everything right, it still costs money to defend. We're talking $10,000, $25,000, even $50,000 in defense costs, all just to prove that you're not at fault. Insurance doesn't just pay claims, it pays for the fight, and that alone can save your business. Now let's talk about what happens after the claim, because this part matters long term. When a claim hits your policy, your renewal premium can increase, carriers may tighten up terms, or worst case, they may non-renew you. So what should you do? Report claims early, be transparent, and work with your agent to control the narrative. Because how a claim is handled can impact your business for the next 3 to 5 years. Now, if you want to reduce your exposure and your headaches at the same time, this is where you win. Documentation. Document, document, document. Every shop should have signed consent forms with clear risk exposures, sanitation logs, and aftercare instructions documented. And last, artist agreements if you have booth renters. Because when something goes wrong, documentation is your defense. And defense equals leverage. And leverage equals lower payout and fewer problems. Look, the reality is most tattoo shop owners aren't doing anything wrong, but the exposure is very real. And the difference between being protected and being one claim away from a nightmare really comes down to understanding your coverage. If you're not 100% sure where you stand right now, I'd strongly recommend taking a second look, because it's not about fear, it's about being prepared. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel below, or share with another shop owner who needs to see this. We're putting out more content like this every week, and we'd love to have you join our channel. Oh, and one more thing. We dropped a link to our tattoo shop insurance checklist down below. This is the exact checklist that we use to help shop owners spot coverage gaps, understand what they have and don't have, and make sure they're not one claim away from a bad situation. It's simple, it's practical, and it'll probably show you something you didn't catch before. Go grab the checklist, take about 5 to 10 minutes to review it, and if you still have questions, feel free to reach out. We'll walk you through it all. No pressure, just clarity.